Welcome back, and we have a great guest for us today, and that is Dan Stika, who is currently a board member at Kenosha Community Media. Dan, thanks for joining us today.
You're very welcome. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Why should someone get involved in Kenosha Community Media?
Well, it's a fantastic opportunity to show your wares, show your creativity. In fact, I've been a member now. Well, in fact, 2005, I think, is when I first got started. And I saw an article in a paper, uh, learn how to become a TV producer, learn how to run a TV camera. And I contacted a friend of mine. And we both went down and had the training. And the next thing, we were contacted by Jean Huffman from the Public Museum. She's also part of the cemetery, Greenwood Cemetery, on the board. And she said that they're talking about doing some cemetery walks. And if we would be interested in videoing these the tours themselves. Oh, why certainly. Well, I thought maybe it would just be a short-term duration. Actually, it lasted for 10 years.
I remember you did a number of programs. Could you highlight some of them?
Yes, well, we also did Voices of Veterans, which is another fantastic program. It dealt with World War II veterans, and we would interview them at the Civil War Museum and finding out what their background was regarding not only themselves, but in the service. Yeah, I'm also a veteran, not World War II. I'm also a Air Force veteran, 61 to 65. But I mean, I was much later than that World War II vintage. But yeah, that's and I've helped you with your program on occasion, and a number of other things going out and interviewing various individuals throughout the community. It's just a fun thing to do.
Okay, if people see around town, the one place they do see you at is the Kenosha Public Museum, and what's your affiliation with that?
Well, I've been with the Kenosha Public Museum now going on 20 years.
Oh.
It's amazing. I started there in 2001 when they first opened up, and I miss it. Now with this pandemic, they haven't called us back yet, but hopefully they will call us and we do our volunteer work. What I do is I'm a greeter, and I'm also a tour guide at the Public Museum. So it's really a fascinating ordeal, and show off your talents also with the visitors. Make sure they leave with the proper information.
I think you also volunteer at the Rotary Opera House. Is that correct?
I do, yes. I'm a volunteer at the Rotary. I'm an usher at the Rotary, and I'm also part of other organizations too. I'm part of the Voices and Verses. We do stage performances, radio RG productions. We do more stage productions with Nita Hunter, who is our producer, and it's a fun life. Fun life. You can't give up. You have to. I'm 80 years old, okay, and you have to just keep striving along, and you don't sit there and vegetate. You just enjoy life and give back to the community as much as you can.
And you are an established author as well. You wrote some books.
Yeah, you had to bring that up here. I wrote a couple books. Yes, now that you mention it. One was When Lincoln Met Wisconsin's Nightingale, all about local history. We had a governor from Wisconsin that came out of Kenosha, Lewis Powell Harvey, and we have a Harvey Elementary grade school or elementary school here in town, which is the namesake. And I also wrote a book on you mentioned about the Rotary Theater, the Rotary Center for the Arts, looking back and looking ahead. And it takes us back from like early 1900s up to the present. The entertainers that appeared there and what the building looked like and interior wise, and just a fascinating read.
Can they purchase your books? Is it online or at the museums? What's your?
You can pardon me. You can purchase the books at the Civil War Museum. You can purchase them at the Pollard Gallery, which I would prefer you doing that. It's a great venue, and the money that's there goes back into the Rotary Theater, which that's my donation.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for talking with us today. You're just an excellent volunteer and member at Kenosha Community Media, and thank you so much for talking with us today.
I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you very much to my audience out there, my groupies.